The road trip is over. The Ducks come away with a massive shootout win, and Troy Terry comes out big in the entire week. That and more on this episode of Locked On Anaheim Ducks.
You're Locked On Ducks, your daily podcast on the Anaheim Ducks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome every day. Thanks for making Locked On Anaheim Ducks your first listen every day, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com and win $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. I'm Kyle Carr. I'm a lifelong Anaheim Ducks fan. I've spent multiple years covering collegiate sports, including college hockey. But here on Locked On Anaheim Ducks every day, we're talking about the Anaheim Ducks. That's right. And the Ducks just finished up a 5-game road trip. And we'll get into all of that later in the show. We've also got some news to get into just around the league and sports in general. But first, the thing I need to get to first, and the person that I need to get into first, is the man, Troy Terry. My goodness, what a road trip this guy is having, and what a season start this guy is having. Just being a silent, sneaky professional out there, just like I talked about all preseason and in the offseason. I knew that Troy Terry was going to come alive this year, and he's doing extremely well right now for this team. Today, against the Florida Panthers, Troy Terry, he gets the first point on the opening goal and scores in the shootout tonight. Beautiful, beautiful play with Leo Carlsson. We'll talk about the entire game and the team a little bit later, but the way that he played with Leo tonight was impressive, but the way he's been playing this entire roadie was impressive because guess what? Every single game on this road trip, he got a point. He is on a 5-point game streak, or a 5-game point streak, I should say. Sorry, a little dyslexic there. 5-game point streak for Troy Terry. Right now, he currently has 3 goals, 7 assists, and 10 points on the season in 9 games, just over a point per game right now. And he is a +5. He is bringing the offense, not a lot of scoring for the enemy out there when he is on the ice. Love to see that. That's all I was talking about in the offseason, that he is a 200-foot player. He is a guy that's going to hound the opponent. He's going to make sure that there isn't a lot of goal scoring available in the defensive zone when he's out there, and he just keeps generating and generating and generating. He's a hound on the puck. He's going to go out there. He's going to get it back. He's going to make sure that, you know, the Ducks have all the best chance that they can. And towards the end here, with all of the kind of illnesses and the injuries and stuff that's kind of weighing on the Ducks right now, he has had to bounce around this entire roster. He has played, I think, on every single line at this point, or at least with everyone out there that's on every line. I've seen him out there getting points with Pelling and Johnston. He's getting points with Carlsson and Cutter Gauthier, and he's getting points with McTavish, and I don't know if he has a point with Sennecke yet, but he's out there just creating offense with pretty much every single player on this team, just being a Swiss Army knife for Joel Quenneville. Whenever he is asked to do, he's doing it, and he's doing it with style. I feel like his stick handling has really, really exploded this year. We've always seen Troy Terry be able to manage the puck pretty well, but this road trip and this year, man, I'm telling you, like, a lot of his points coming from him just straight deacon dudes out in the offensive zone. And I'm not talking like he's coming in with speed and burning the guy wide. I'm talking about he's in the zone, makes a pass, gets the puck back. He's deacon dudes out, double deeks, makes a crazy pass from Vetrano to Granlund to get Granlund his first goal of the season and get his scoring going. Like a ton of offense coming from Troy Terry just by being a creative player and using those soft skills that he has, like the ability he has to move that puck around and his work against the boards, his angling. He's just a solid guy. Hasn't registered a hit yet, technically, but yet he's getting the puck back and he's hounding guys. He doesn't need to go in there and really lay the body on anyone because he's already angled them off, stealing the puck with a nice little stick lift or causing another teammate to get that puck. That is what Troy Terry does. He's going to hound down guys, he's going to close them off, and he's going to make things extremely hard for the opponent. And like I said, he's this player that's going to sneakily be getting more and more points. He is the type of player that's just going to keep doing what he has to, and he's going to keep beating guys. He's not going to be an overtly flashy player, although we are seeing some pretty sick mitts from him. It's not going to be the, Sports Center highlight of the night type stuff, but he's going to be causing a lot of offense, and he's going to keep doing what he has to, holding it down in the defensive zone, holding it down in the neutral zone, pushing things into the offense, using his mental prowess and speed. And the good thing about Troy Terry, like, this is a guy, 9 years in the NHL, coming up next year, 10 years officially in the league. That's a decade of Troy Terry hockey. And you saw what he could do when he was with Denver. And he's just been consistently getting better and better, smarter and smarter. 28-year-old player now, and the longest tenured Duck on this roster. What more could you ask for out of this player? And to see him go out on the road, I mean, we'll see how things go when he's home. Not saying that he's not a good dad, because I'm sure he's a brilliant dad, but you get away from the kids for a week on a road trip, focusing on the boys, probably getting some FaceTime with the wife and kids at the hotel, but just getting some time with the boys and really getting to focus on the game. Clearly working out for Troy Terry, having a 5-game point streak with multiple points in pretty much every game. Tonight in the shootout, he gets one of the goals during the shootout, so he scores on the shootout. Kind of a fun little play. They're gonna ask him about it later. He goes in for a deke, and if you watch it, you might think, okay, this guy straight up just missed the puck, and that him throwing himself off and missing threw off the goalie, and it goes through the 5-hole. But I guarantee if you ask Troy Terry, hey, what was the game plan? Did you mean to act like you missed it, or what was that? He's gonna say, yeah, I totally did that on purpose. I definitely did the Kucherov, and that was exactly what I was trying to do. It was my game plan the whole time. Guarantee he's going to say something like that, or just not even say yes or no. But he's going to hint that, he might have done it on purpose, but also knows that he didn't. So it's going to be exciting to hear what he has to say about that. But to watch Troy Terry kind of just settle in this season, it's been fun. And he's already off to a better pace than he was last year. This entire team is off to a better pace than last year. And we'll get into that and how the game went against Florida, and a little bit talking about the Tampa Bay game, since unfortunately my schedule, some stuff just came up, and yesterday fighting a little stomach bug. Didn't get to really talk about Tampa, but we'll get into that right after this. Let's be honest. Most of us can't even name all our financial accounts, let alone what they are worth. Between 401ks, savings, and investments, it's easy to lose track, and that can mean leaving money on the table. That's why I started using Monarch, an all in one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy to use interface on your laptop or your phone. How does Monarch help you? I mean, come on. Monarch's visual dashboards and smart tools make it so much easier to understand where my money's going and how to make it work harder and better for me. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONNHL at monarch.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarch.com, code LOCKEDONNHL for half off your first year. So the Ducks finish up a 5-game road trip in Florida, Fort Lauderdale, the wonderful home of the Stanley Cup for the last 2 years. They go in. The other Orange County, I don't know if they're considered Orange County in Fort Lauderdale, but they try to claim they got the best oranges, but we all know the best oranges come from Orange County. Come on now. Come on, somebody. But we are headed off now. The Ducks are going to be coming back home. They were off on the East Coast for most of the road trip. The furthest west they were Nashville and Chicago. The rest all along the East Coast, taking on some Atlantic Division opponents. They played extremely, extremely well on this road trip. The record on this 5-gamer was 3-1-1. So 3 wins, 1 loss, 1 OT loss. Doing absolutely fantastic out there on the road. They played against the Blackhawks for their first game of this road trip, lost in OT 2-1, a 1-goal game. They played Nashville and won 5-2. They won 5-2, 3-goal game. They played Boston and won 7-5, which was the craziest free-for-all of a game the Ducks have played so far. Maybe the Sharks was pretty close, but this was insane. Shot for shot, goal for goal, just not a good look for the man, Peter Mrazek, in net. Both of his games, I think he's let up 13 goals now, 14 goals, but yet has 2 W's. Hockey is a crazy, crazy sport, let me tell you. Then they play the Lightning, who have been heating up since playing the Ducks. They were kind of on this weird skid, not doing too well. And the Ducks, they fought. They fought hard. They lost by 1 goal. Could have had a chance to get this one in their win column, but the Lightning shut it down. Just couldn't get it to happen. But they only won or lost by 1 goal. Again, 1 goal. And then they finish up in Florida winning in a shootout 3-2. So all of these games, if they won, most likely more of their games that they won, they were over multiple goals over their opponents. And then the games that they lost were 1-goal games. So they are battling. They continue to fight and push every single game. They end this road trip. As of this recording, the Ducks are now in 3rd place in the Pacific. That's right, 3rd place in the Pacific with 11 points. They're doing extremely well right now. I would not have expected them to be in 3rd, almost 10 games in. Pretty much all the teams, I'll get into it more in the later part of the show, talking about news and what's going on with the league. But I did not expect them to be in the top 3 right now. Obviously, there's still a ton of hockey to be played, but they are a fun team. They're already getting people on notice. They're already being talked about in the international media, in the, Spittin' Chicklets is high up on them. You've got Crash the Pond, or Empty Netters. Sorry, Crash the Pond. They're literally a Ducks podcast. But you've got Empty Netters. They're high up on the Ducks. You've got Sirius XM, different shows. They're all talking about the Ducks right now. The Ducks are looking good. They're fun to watch, and they're playing great hockey. Joel Quenneville has this team pumping right now. I mean, literally every single person on this team is skating so much harder, so much quicker. They are just battling every second that they can. They just look like they're having a blast as a team right now. They look like they're just enjoying each other as teammates. They're smiling. They're competing with each other. They're working hard together. And the communication on the bench is, you could just tell, is positive. It's constructive. Yeah, guys are probably going to get on each other, but it's constructive and it's positive for the whole of this team. And to have as many injuries as they had today and come up with a win against the Panthers. Yes, the Panthers had some players out as well, but they continued to battle and they did well. They started the game off with a 2-0 lead in the second period and then into the third. Unfortunately, two crazy Florida Panther-esque goals get behind Dostál. And I mean, all credit to the Panthers. They pushed hard, but Dostál played so well. He had way more saves this game. He shot nearly 40 shots this game. And continue to play hard, goes into overtime, makes absolutely insane save after save. He completely saved the Ducks from losing that game, not only in the shootout, but in OT. In the last seconds of regulation, the Ducks had a nice push. Then it gets to OT. They're pushing a little bit, but then the Panthers get possession for pretty much the second half. A terrible penalty is called against Mason McTavish. Dude just playing the stick and somehow gets a hooking call. Pretty weak. A little hometown love. But then Dostál stands up big on the 4-on-3 power play. It was absolute cinema. If I can get my words out, it was absolute cinema by Lukáš Dostál. I just was so pumped up about this game. And to see where the Anaheim Ducks are, to see how they were this pretty much down and out team last year, not looking fun, looking defeated, boring hockey. Not many people's eyes are paying attention. And now this year, it's like a whole new look just from the coach. The coaching change has completely turned this team around. The roster is no different, really, than last year. Tonight, the only person that was not on this roster that wasn't a Ducks like pipeline guy was Ryan Pelling. The rest of that roster was all Anaheim Ducks players from last year, and they brought it. They are playing so well. Literally, Ross Johnston is one of the best forecheckers on the team right now. Ross Johnston got 4 points on this road trip, tying his season total from last year. Already, just in 2 games that he had points, he ties it. 3-point game and a 1-point game. He's forechecking like a madman. Watching him tonight, honestly, I saw Ross Johnston. Maybe it's just because I'm paying attention to him more, but he is booking it out there. His forecheck was absurd tonight. He was getting on his high horse, just shutting things down, trying to get in the offensive zone, being a pest. Then he's taking on 2 guys. What was it? Green tries to fight him, and Petrie's holding his back, like he's holding him, and he's getting punched by Andy Green, and then finally gets the other guy off of him, then tries to get into a scrum with Green, but he backs out. It was crazy. Johnston's just being a madhouse. 4 fights in 4 games in a row, being a pest out there, causing mayhem. So you have Ross Johnston out here, who everyone was so down and out on, me included. Everyone wanted him out of here. He's playing extremely well. He's loving it. He's playing fast and hard and getting points. Then you got Beckett Sennecke. He's playing crazy. He's been fantastic. Did not think he was even going to be in this lineup for the 9th game, playing all 9 games. That was not expected. I thought maybe he'd be at like a 4-game mark by now, doing the in and out, maybe here, maybe there. No, he is one of the staples of this team. Tonight, he had so many chances. He was flying around out there. He could even be more selfish right now. Tonight, I think the most rookie mistakes he made were being selfless and trying to pass when he had opportunities to get in there and try to get a nice shot off. I know that kid can shoot, but he's trying to be, that provider. He's not trying to be selfish. He's the young guy still. That was really the only mistakes he's making is just being, not having that, confident, not really confidence, but just that instinct to when to carry it, when to not. But he's still flying out there, playing extremely well. McTavish, he's muscling his way through everyone. Cutter Gauthier can absolutely fly. He is it's insane how quick he is. You don't really expect it when you see him, but then all of a sudden, he's 200 feet past everyone else. He got a couple close ones tonight from his speed. Leo Carlsson, he's probably having the most fun out of any player in the NHL right now. He's at 11 points, team leader, in points, and he's just whipping around, having a blast. Looks like he's having so much fun, making crazy plays with Troy Terry, making crazy plays with Cutter Gauthier. He had Nesterenko on the line with him. Nesterenko, Troy Terry, and Leo Carlsson was the top line tonight. Like, what is going on? But this team is having so much fun. Last season, it took the Ducks 12 games to have a player with 10 or more points. This year, Leo Carlsson and Troy Terry already have double digits in 9 games. They're flying. They are playing so well, and there's people right behind them. Cutter's right there with 8 points or 8 goals. No, yeah, 8 points, but he leads the team with 6 goals. So this team is buzzing. They're flying. They are such a fun team to watch, and they're coming home for a nice little homestand. Going to be playing against the Detroit Red Wings for Halloween. But there's a lot of other stuff going on in the league and just really in the world of sports, and some news that we kind of got to get into. Just it's something that needs to be brought up, but we'll get into that right after this. The NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you miss the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. So now we got to get into some news around the league and just in sports in general. We got a couple days until the Ducks play at home against the Red Wings on Halloween. So we'll get more into a game preview of what to expect out of the Red Wings in that game coming up a couple days from now. But right now, just kind of want to get into the news and how things went over the weekend and where things are going. And unfortunately, there was some tough news that we do have to talk about, and it involves a former Anaheim Duck player. It was reported that Ryan Kesler, a former center of the Anaheim Ducks, has been charged with 2 counts of 4th-degree sexual misconduct. And from reports that I've been seeing, it shows that it involves a 16-year-old minor. So right now, Kesler, he pled not guilty. He denies all allegations and has a lawyer, and he posted bail and all that. It's gonna be a case, but he did get banned from all Michigan hockey participation right now, and I believe USA Hockey as well. Just tough news to hear about a former player, and obviously, I hope that it's not true, and I hope that this turns out to be a whole misunderstanding. But for something to happen at the beginning of the year, now it's coming through, and what the allegations are looking like, it's going to be a tough go for Ryan Kesler. He was playing he was coaching one of the top youth teams out in Michigan, the Little Caesars Club, and now is completely barred from all of that and now has to deal with this. So hopefully, for the sake of hockey and everything and the Anaheim Ducks alumni, this is something that isn't the case, and it ends up being true that he isn't guilty. And if it isn't, my heart goes out to that victim. Obviously, like, this is just not a good look for anyone right now. So very, very tough news to cover, but it has to be brought up and has to be acknowledged. It cannot be swept under the rug. So we'll see how things go, and don't want it to really take up a lot of air, but that is something that is going on in the world right now, and it is a former Duck, so it's kind of important to get onto. So to totally change the speed of things now, the World Series. Yes, this is hockey. Yes, we are I cover the Anaheim Ducks here on Locked On. But sports are sports, and postseason sports are always a different level. And this World Series right now is unlike any World Series I've seen in a long time. This has been a crazy set of postseason games for the MLB. Like, the MLB kind of redeemed itself with the pitching clock. They've been trying to get better with the attracting younger fans and getting more people back in. This playoff and postseason and World Series is doing its job. The game 3 against LA and Toronto going to 18 innings to end with a walk-off home run by Freddie Freeman in LA. Crazy. That's 2 full games of a baseball game. Insane. The way that these teams are playing, the heart that these guys have, it is so like heartbeat. Like, the game's on right now next to me. So if you keep seeing me kind of peek, that's because we've got game 4 on. The game 3 just ended like a few hours ago, pretty much, and now they're already playing in game 4. Just crazy stuff. It's been so much fun. LA just right up the street from me, and then Toronto, you've got the entire country of Canada behind this team, and probably the entire rest of the United States if you're not a Dodgers fan. But to have these two teams battle it out has been so much fun to watch. The World Series, MLB, great job. Great work by these players. I am blown away by what is going on out there in baseball in the postseason. Some other news that did come up today. Today was the first, before I get into that, another part about the World Series. I mean, game 1, you saw a grand slam by the Blue Jays. That's absurd. And then for Shohei Ohtani to have the run that he's having in the postseason, a former Anaheim Angel just living next door to the Anaheim Ducks, and now he's having this crazy season, throwing 10 Ks. He's got he's pitching like crazy. He's hitting a bunch of home runs, being a madhouse out there. So that's my last thing on the World Series there. But then we got some news today that the Stars are going to be paying Thomas Harley. They're going to be signing him to a 8-year extension at just over $10 million AAV. So what does that mean for Jason Robertson? Are the Ducks going to take a swing at that again? Is that going to be something the Ducks pursue here towards the trade deadline? Because I know that that's someone that Anaheim would love to have, and he fits a lot of what Anaheim would look to need to go into the playoffs and can create a lot of scoring in the postseason. He knows he has that experience. He's been doing a lot with Dallas, so possibly a little rental there for the end of the season. I don't think the Ducks really want to be forking out too much money to get Jason Robertson long time, because they've got a lot of players to sign, but they do have some good cap space still, and they're going to be losing some of these older vets. So that's something on there. We'll have to keep track of that as well. And then kind of to wrap things up here, just the standings after this last week. Now the Ducks road trip's done. As of this recording, the standings for the NHL are not at all what I thought it would be. Like, not what I thought at all. The teams that are in the standings and in the top, I know we're hitting that 10-game mark, which it's kind of settling in. 10 games is a pretty good spot. We'll be looking at things American Thanksgiving to really get a weight of things. But at this point, mostly 10 games for all the teams out there. They're all around about 9, 10, 11 games played. Now, like I said, as of this recording, Montreal, Detroit, and Ottawa are the top 3 in the Atlantic. New Jersey, Pittsburgh, and Washington in the Metro. Then they got the Hurricanes and the Flyers in the wild card. So that's the Montreal Canadiens, Detroit Red Wings, and the Ottawa Senators leading the Atlantic. The New Jersey Devils, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the Washington Capitals leading in the Metro. What is this, 2010? And then you got the Hurricanes and the Flyers in the wild card. So Carolina Hurricanes and the Philadelphia Flyers. Not even 2010. That's like 2017 numbers, right? 2017, 2018, getting Pittsburgh, Washington, New Jersey. My goodness. And then on the West, you got Utah, Mammoth, first place, absolute heater, Colorado Avalanche, and the Winnipeg Jets in the Central. So 2 teams you would expect, but Utah being at the top, crazy stuff. And then in the Pacific, the Vegas Golden Knights, the Seattle Kraken, and the Anaheim Ducks are leading in the Pacific. And then you've got Dallas Stars and the LA Kings in the wild card for the West. Madhouse standings right now, but I love that we're seeing some names in there that we have not seen in quite some time. Utah, who used to be Arizona. When's the last time you saw them leading a division? Vegas expected, but Seattle and Anaheim, no. Pittsburgh, absolutely not. Washington, kind of, but not really. And then Montreal leading. Detroit, Ottawa. The East is like completely a mix of different, like no one pictured the East to look like this. So it is fun times right now. The NHL is on a heater itself. Tonight was the Frozen Frenzy, back and forth games. All 32 teams played, and the Ducks got to put on a good show in the Frozen Frenzy. So the NHL is in a good place. MLB postseason's in a good place. Sports are in a good place. We're living it. We are in the best of times right now. And thank you in all of the best of times that you chose to listen to Locked On Anaheim Ducks. Thank you for making Locked On Ducks your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On NHL Game Night. Every game, every night until a Stanley Cup champion is crowned. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find NHL Game Night on Locked On NHL on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. And make sure you go like and subscribe to Locked On Ducks on YouTube as well and all of your audio platforms. And as always, I'm Kyle Carr. Be good out there.